Based off David's Melmax, Americans spend 23 hours per week online in 2013 by BusinessNewsDaily.com. Staying up to date on emails, social media, and other means of online communication is a bigger time requirement than people may realize. New research has found that the average user spends 23 hours a week emailing, texting, and using social media and other forms of online communication.
When people use a significant amount of time on their phone using Facebook or Twitter, it makes people realize that they could spend that same amount of time doing something more productive.
How many hours a day do you usually spend on social media?
The amount of hours I probably spend on social media would probably be about 4 to 5 hours.
Out of those 4 to 5 hours, which site do you think you spend the most time on?
Definitely Facebook and Twitter. A lot.
Alright, Chad, I want to say thank you for having me on this fabulous evening. And I just want to ask you one question. How many hours did you spend on social media per day?
Well, depends, but usually at least 2-3 hours a day.
Oh.
I'm always signed in on my phone, so I kind of just check Facebook every once in a while and Twitter.
Oh, what else do you use?
I used to use Tinder, but there's a lot of sketchy people on there, and it didn't really work out that well, so I deleted my account for that.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, it was pretty weird.
Well, thank God you're out of it. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for having me, man.
You're welcome.
Demonstrated by social networking eats up to 3+ hours per day for the average American user in 2013 by Marketing Charts staff. Americans aged 18 to 64 who use social networks say they spend an average of 3.2 hours per day doing so, according to new research released by Ipsos Open Thinking Exchange. That's a lot of hours spent on social media. Do you realize that you could be using that time more efficiently with things like studying, exercise, or reading a book, for example?
People feel insecure about themselves, and in order to deal with it, they tend to post happy stuff on social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Vine. As a result, they get likes for it, and they use it as a way to make themselves feel better. This will backfire on them as they go on social media websites and start to develop a sense of jealousy, envy, and hatred, which would have a negative impact on them.
Do you feel like you are comparing yourself to other people on social media?
I personally do not, because what other people post doesn't really affect me personally.
And why do you think people do that?
It's because a lot of people have lower self-esteem, and it's to make themselves feel better, and everyone wants to be everyone's friend, and they want to be liked.
Yeah.
So people will be like, oh, like my photo, or like this post if you think I'm pretty, or like this new pair of shoes that I'm posting a picture of. They want to be liked and be accepted by people.
Yeah, so you think that raises people's self-esteem a lot more? Yeah, I believe it does too. People compare themselves to other people because they just want what's best in the media, and I think more people are doing that nowadays than they did before.
Do you feel like you're comparing yourself to other people's posts on social media?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how do you compare yourself to other people on social media?
Mostly it's if you see someone liking someone else's posts or photos, or you wonder why those people who are your friends as well don't like your things as much. Or if they're out doing something with people and you didn't go, you wonder, why.
So does that make you jealous, or do you feel good or bad about yourself?
I think more, it's just you just wonder, you're questioning those friendships. And sometimes I guess, it makes you feel bad. But instead of feeling bad, you should actually just go do those things instead of sitting behind your computer and wondering.
So do you think that people do that more on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram?
I do it mostly on Facebook, and I feel like Facebook is the main avenue for that, yeah.
In 2013, Alex Gregg from DailyMail.com states, Facebook may have 1.1 billion users across the globe, but according to the study, the technology is having a fundamentally negative effect on the way we interact with others and the way we perceive ourselves. You are your own person, and are grateful for what you have, and not base your decisions off of other people's choices. When people go to certain events, such as concerts, they use their phones to record and take pictures of the event. Some of them say they do it just so that they can relive the moment through the pictures. But sometimes seeing an event with your own eyes is worth a lot more than those pictures because you will have the memory of it and nothing could take away from it.
Okay, so have you guys ever gone to a concert and recorded it and not actually paid attention, like watching it?
Yeah,
Probably every concert I've been to.
same.
So
I
do
find
you-
myself looking at the screen instead of actually looking at the stage.
So do you guys think that you would have a better experience just watching it, or?
Yes, I definitely videotaped myself grabbing Luke Bryan's hand, and I can relive it, but I mean, I don't really remember touching his hand physically. It's kind of
But I definitely want to look back on the pictures and videos and say like, oh, remember when this happened, and watch it again, but it won't be the same effect as watching it with your own eyes.
Yeah.
So, have you ever gone to an event and found yourself recording it and not have your full attention to it?
Yes, I have.
All right. Do you enjoy your experience better recording it, or when you watch it through your own eyes?
When I watch it through my own eyes, probably.
Well, then why do you think so many people record it through their phones instead of paying attention to it?
Probably to just show other people what they're doing, kind of a thing, on social media.
Right. So pretty much to let people know what you're doing and get them jealous.
Yeah, a little bit.
In 2013, Henkel and Deep Preview staff's article, Want to Remember Something? Don't Take a Photo, says, when people rely on technology to remember for them, counting on the camera to record the event and thus not needing to attend to it fully themselves, it can have a negative impact on how well they remember their experiences. Next time you're at an event, try actually enjoying and watching it and giving your full attention to it and see if you enjoy your experience more and see if you remember your experience better.
When people have a lot of stuff to do on their schedules, they don't have a lot of time to meet with people face to face. This is where social media usage comes in, as it makes it easier, faster, and more simple to communicate with each other from far away.
Hey Musa, what's up?
Not much. Want to know the good thing about social media?
What?
Yeah, it has really great technology to bring two and two together. And speaking of sticking together, when was the last time you put the effort into going to see or talk to a friend about something face to face rather than just call them right away?
Well, I would say probably a couple months ago, when I wasn't as busy as I am now with school and sports and stuff. Because it's hard to make time to go see someone face to face. It's usually just easier to text.
A couple months ago. That's like a whole summer. All right.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Since there are a lot of social media websites these days, such as Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat, people tend to spend more time on them because they want to seek out what's happening on each of the websites. Based off of the post Face-to-Face Communication in Teens by Nadia Harris in 2010, texting is still a hit among 33% of teens, with 7% preferring social networking and only 4% saying talking on the phone is their favorite method of communication. Those 4% of teens state they prefer face-to-face communication because it is more fun and makes it easier to understand someone.
Hey, so how much time do you spend on your phone while you're studying?
What was the question?
How much time do you spend on your phone while studying?
I would say for every 4 hours, probably about 30 minutes. I like my social media a little bit sometimes.
For every 4 hours?
Yeah.
What about 2?
2 hours, I would say probably 15 minutes.
And what do you do on your phone during that time?
Check Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, and text and Snapchat.
And what makes you want to check your phone while you're studying?
To stay involved. I don't know. My friends are contacting me to know what's going on.
And don't you think maybe studying will be more important than checking your phone?
Oh, definitely. If I didn't have my phone, I would probably get a lot better grades.
And you think that's affecting your grades right now?
No, not at all.
No?
I mean, it doesn't affect my grades because I still manage my time well enough, but I have friends that it does affect their grades.
All right, Rachel, I would like to say thank you for having me on this fabulous evening.
No problem.
I just want you to ask this one question. How much time do you spend on your phone while studying?
When I study, I probably spend like a fourth of the time on my phone.
Ah, so like you study for every hour, you take like 15 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
Ooh, a fourth of an hour. That's like 25%. A quarter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Well, thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, no problem.
In 2013, according to Social Media Effects Grades by Joaquin Lomel Jr., a 2011 study of the effects of social media on college students done by Johnson and Wales University in Rhode Island Researchers found 80% of participants in the study utilized social networks while working on homework, seeing negative effects in efficiency and grades. Some students spent 6 to 8 hours per day on social media such as Facebook while completing their homework.